sitting down with Baylor and Big 12 Freshman of the Year, Keyonte George, on Roundball, Roundup on UtahJazz.com. Keyonte, thank you so much for taking the time.
Appreciate y'all having me.
You were pretty emotional when the draft pick was announced. What hit you in that moment?
Man, just all the hard work that I put in. I mean, sleepless nights where you just up watching film, up thinking about just anything. And then, I mean, going through this process, this is, the spot that I, like the most. I mean, that everything just came together. I felt like, everything happened for a reason. The story is, still being told, but, that moment right there is something that you dream about. It don't even feel real almost, But, yeah, man, shed a little tears, had the soft side out.
Who's with you and why was it so important that they shared that moment with you?
Yeah, man, my mom, my dad, my girlfriend, I had Foray with me there, I had my agents. It was just important for them to be there just because, they not only push me, in between the lines, but also they push me mentally. Making sure, my mental health is, where it needs to be. Because the basketball is going to take care of itself at the end of the day. I'm going to put it in work. I'm going to go out there, play winning basketball, be confident. But the mental side of it is where, people can get caught up a little bit. And that's, was my main focus, throughout this process. Those are the main people, that really helped me, during this time, making sure that I was focused on that part of, this thing. And that's why it was special for them to be there.
I'm sure people at Baylor told you about Utah. What have you heard about the organization and what they provide?
I mean, winning program, I mean, want to make sure they're all about winning. That's my first impression, coming into this thing. As far as, the city, my roommate, I don't know if any y'all know him, his name's Caleb Lohner. Yeah, he's from out here, so I heard all about Utah because of him. So, I mean, I'm excited to be here.
What's Caleb Lohner like as a roommate?
Unique, I'll say that. We had cactuses all around the house.
Mm-hmm.
We had surfboards. I'm looking at him like, yo, you live in Utah. What are you doing? Why do we have a surfboard in the house? But, I mean, Caleb, he made me adventure, different things. So, having him as a roommate, it was pretty cool. And I knew him in high school, too, playing against him multiple years. Yeah. So, like I said before, everything happened for a reason. So, man, it was a fun time, being with Caleb.
What are some of the things that he turned you on to?
Surfing.
Okay.
That's probably the only thing. I haven't got to try it, but I want to bad because I am.
Yeah.
But we had this thing called Waco Surf, and back in Waco, and it's like the slide thing. You slide down, go up, jump in the water. I never do that, but because of Caleb, end up doing it. So I'll do it again though for sure.
I could see Caleb doing that right now.
Yep. You probably ain't no telling what Caleb doing.
That's very true. What went behind your decision to go to IMG, because you are from Texas, leaving to go to Florida to play high school basketball that final year? What went into that?
It's had to, look myself in the mirror. A lot of people around me, I have a great circle, but they told me I could do something special, with the basketball. Going to IMG, there's like-minded people around you everywhere, whether they play tennis, soccer, baseball, basketball. Everybody has a common goal. They're trying to be a pro. They're trying to carry themselves like a pro. And so that's what ultimately, led to me going there, playing with guys like Jarris, Jet, Jane Bradley, just to name a few. Learning, if it's not my night, it's their night. Knowing, okay, what's my role for this game? That's why I feel like, that jump to the college scene, I was able to adjust, whether I was playing, I'm the third guard or I'm the second guard, I'm playing a point. I think IMG helped me be able to adjust to anything coming my way. So I thought it was a great pick.
How do you find yourself fitting in when you're playing with so many great players? Because so many guys are going to Division I. They are of a high caliber. How do you fit in that scenario?
I think it starts with first, having that relationship, on the court, off the court, having that relationship with them off the court, being, tight, having each other back, So when you go in between those lines, it's, you know, second nature to have they got my back, I got their back. And it also comes also putting in the work. When guys see you putting in a lot of work, you know, perfecting your craft, you know, you gain respect. You know, same thing with me. You know, I see guys in the gym, you know, you gain my respect. So, I mean, I think it's different aspects that go into it. You know, but I think those are the things that help me, you know, be able to play with guys, you know, like myself.
What led you back to Baylor and picking that as the school that you would play college basketball at?
Yeah, my top five, I had, you know, great schools. But the reason Baylor stuck out to me was just the culture. Everybody knows about our culture of joy. But you know, when you come into the practice facility or, you know, wherever we're at, you definitely feel our culture. You know, no matter what it is.
Coach Drew.
Yeah, Coach Drew, he doesn't treat anybody, you know, he doesn't feel like he's hired anybody. He, you know, man, I've seen him dap up a janitor before, you know. So like, it's just playing for a head coach like that, high character, and then, you know, also, you know, understanding my game, let me have some type of freedom. You know, it's just it was great that I was able to go, you know, through that with Coach Drew.
Give me a good Coach Drew story, because I'm talking to him tomorrow about you, and it seems like he's the type of guy that never has a bad day. He's always up.
That's true. Never has a bad day. Never not smiling. I'll say it's funny when Coach Drew like tries to demonstrate what he wants us to do, because he comes in with the same forces, great forces, yeah. Slacks, polo, oversized, so a little baggy, and then he'll get to screaming. I forgot what day it was, but he was showing me a closeout, and he started running closed out. Like, back in my head, I was like, I've never seen you do that in my life. But that's probably the funniest story.
Yeah. No, I bet. What was it like playing with a loaded backcourt? Because it's not like you're going to be on the ball that often when you have so many talented players alongside. Flagler's a great guy to play alongside. How did you fit in there?
It goes back to IMG. You know, James Bradley was our main point guard. He ended up getting hurt late in the season, and you know, I moved up to the point guard. So, you know, I've been playing on ball, you know, my whole life. So it wasn't that big of an adjustment at all. You know, early on during Canada, I was able to show my game to, you know, them two guards, so they understood how I like to play and, you know, what my strengths are. So, you know, when they came back, it was easy transition. You know, we all loved each other. We all wanted to see each other win. So, you know, when somebody had it going, you know, we was all, you know, got to find them, but we're going to get stops for you, though. So, I mean, no, it was just a joy playing with them. You know, I say joy just because, I mean, outside of our culture is just, I don't know. It was a lot of fun playing with a loaded backcourt.
I feel like people know you can score, but what else are you trying to provide?
I think my passing ability is underrated. Through film, learning, you know, with the whole coaching staff, you know, knowing reads, I can only get better. You know, so I feel like, you know, I have the tools passing with not just my right hand, but with the left hand as well. You know, I feel like I have, you know, I have feel for the game. So I think that's an underrated part of my game.
What is it like when you get in the zone and you're scoring and you can feel the flow and you realize nobody's going to stop me tonight?
I mean, nice like that. I mean, I had it going a couple of times this year. I wasn't really hunting for the ball, but it's just like the coach has so much trust in me to where, you know, we're going to keep continuing to run plays that give me shots. But when I'm in the zone, just like you said, I work too hard. I feel like nobody can stay in front of me. The whole arena gets quiet. I just feel like it's just me and 9 other guys out there. And then, you know, when it's a timeout, you know, shake back a little bit, get the fans involved. Yeah, well, I do all that. That's what I'm about.
Before I let you go, Brice, working out with him ahead of being his teammate, what is he going to provide for this team? What have you seen from early workouts with him?
Man, he got every trick up his sleeve, you know, into spots, you know, post you up. His ultimate scorer, can shoot the ball real well. Can't shoot better than me. You know that. Nah, but I mean, Brice, he like strong, can guard, can can provide a lot of things to a team. He plays winning basketball. He loves the game. You know, being with him for this last month and a half, really getting to talk to him. This has been a dream of his too. We kind of got the same situation almost as far as not getting talked about early on, you know, blowing up. So, you know, having that story behind us, we click really well.
When you guys are all the same age and coming into this group, would you say you're the best shooter of them all? You already said you're better than Brice.
No.
Better than Taylor?
I mean, I hope they would say they better shooter than me.
Right.
I hope they would say that.
That's true.
Making sure we all confident. We all confident in our games. But I think I can shoot the ball really well.
He is the Big 12 Freshman of the Year, Keyonte George, on Roundball, Roundup on UtahJazz.com. Keyonte, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sitting here with the Jazz's number 9 pick in the NBA draft out of UCF, Taylor Hendricks on Roundball, Roundup on UtahJazz.com. Taylor, congrats on being the first player out of UCF to get drafted in the first round.
Thank you.
Has the dream settled in that, oh my, I'm drafted into the NBA?
No, it hasn't yet. I'm gonna be honest now.
Who's with you at draft night, and who'd you want to bring to share that moment with you?
Just my friends and family, my mother, my brother, my agents, and my college coaches and high school coaches.
What was the most exciting part of that night?
Just hearing my name called, really. You know, I mean, you think about that like throughout the whole season, and like it's just crazy when it actually happens.
And then I saw off to the side, because I was here for draft night, you had a conversation with Ryan Smith, and he told me about the talk that you guys had the last workout before you were drafted by this team.
Right.
What is it like in the organization that you're going to come into that you already have that relationship with Ryan?
I mean, it's great, you know, just to have that foundation already is just, you know, it's a blessing really, you know, because that's something that's really important to me, building a relationship with people. And, you know, the fact that I already have that foundation is great.
Your older brother got you into basketball. What were that experience like, those games going against him? When did you start to take over and start to beat him at that point?
It was really me and my twin brother. We were playing like 2-on-1 against him like for years and years. And, you know, then we started playing 1v1v1. And I feel like once I got like middle school, I started to beat him even more and then he just never won again.
I was going to say 2-on-1 seems a little unfair.
Yeah, but we were like younger, and he was like bigger than us.
What was the experience of going to college and playing college basketball with your brother at that time? How was that experience?
It was great. You know, we've been together for like our whole lives. We had the same elementary school classes, middle school classes, high school classes. So, you know, to roommate with him in college and then be on the court with him it was a blessing, really.
You already have a built-in friend.
Exactly.
You had already played with NBA-type players before you got on campus. In high school, Scotty Barnes was a teammate.
Yeah.
How do you play with those players who are so good and have a really high talent level?
Just trying to learn everything you can from them, you know. Scotty was like a couple years older than me. So, you know, and he was like a highly ranked recruit. So, like, you know, just trying to take bits and pieces of his game, see what he does, and try to emulate that in mine. And
in AAU, you were on a stacked team with one of your new teammates, Brice Sensabaugh. Yes. What are the Jazz getting in Brice? What was he like to play with in AAU?
I mean, he was great to play with. I mean, he's a guy that comes off the bench or stays in the game, and he's going to give you like 15 points in 10 minutes, like quick. So, yeah, he's like that type of player, like pure scorer, like talented guy.
Have you played against him one-on-one?
No, not one-on-one, no.
Okay. Well, I bet it'll happen out there on the practice court. I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely, eventually.
How was that experience playing on that stacked AAU team and you fitting in and showing what you have?
I felt like it was pretty fun, you know. When you're surrounded by a bunch of guys with talent, like, you know, it's like you expect everybody to play well and, like, you know, there's like no let up anywhere. So it was pretty fun. What
do you feel like your strengths are and how they can translate to the NBA?
I feel like some of my strengths are definitely my defensive versatility. You know, me being able to guard multiple positions, and then me being able to block shots the way I can, and then also my three-point shooting. I feel like, you know, at my size, it really helps space the floor and, you know, give teams problems.
What was the experience of going to UCF? Because I know Johnny Dawkins from his days back playing with Duke and what type of coach he is now, having spoken to him, and he speaks highly of you. What was that experience with him as your head coach?
It was a great experience. The relationship he built with me, like while he was recruiting me, was great. And when I came in, it felt just easy. It was an easy transition. And he's a defensive-minded coach, so a lot of the positions he's put me in a lot of situations, helped me with my defense overall.
What do you feel like you can keep growing towards once you get on an NBA floor?
Just continuously improve my ball handling, improve my shot creation skills, and just continue to get stronger, faster, and just smarter.
Excited for Summer League?
I am, yes.
We're excited to catch you. It's Taylor Hendricks out of UCF, the #1 draft choice at number 9 in the NBA draft for the Utah Jazz. Taylor Hendricks, thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Here with the Jazz's first-round pick out of Ohio State, Brice Sensabaugh on Roundball Roundup on UtahJazz.com. Brice, thank you so much for taking the time.
Sure, appreciate you having me.
So tell me about your draft, because we weren't able to see you at your home. How was it, and what was the moment like for you to get drafted by the Utah Jazz?
Yeah, it was pretty surreal. I didn't actually have a workout with Utah, so it was kind of surprising. But when I got the phone call, and every moment after that, I've kind of just been hearing that the Jazz is a great organization. It's the right place to be, so I'm super excited about the future.
And the guys that you were drafted with.
Yeah. I've been working out with Keyonte, and I played with Taylor, so I'm pretty familiar with him.
Tell me about that EYBL experience with Taylor, because not only did you have Taylor, that was a stacked team.
Yeah, it was.
You had a bunch of really good players.
Yeah,
so what'd you learn about playing with good players and fitting in amongst really good players?
Yeah, we had a pretty good team, a bunch of talent, and it was kind of just, it was kind of more like a little bit like a pickup style. Like we weren't, we had sets obviously, but we weren't like, running them super often. We were kind of just out there playing, so it was a lot of fun, especially playing with Taylor, someone with like a bunch of talent and upside, and defensive presence. So that was super fun with him and the rest of our guys, and we got super close that year, because that was kind of like the COVID year where the EYBL was kind of just like 2 or 3 weeks out in Georgia. So we were all staying together, and we had a good time.
So what type of player are the Jazz getting in Taylor Hendricks?
Really just like a modern day big, to be honest. One that has a bunch of presence inside on the defensive end, and then can step out and shoot. Got great touch, and can space the floor well.
And then Keyonte, you're playing with him because you're linked by agency.
Yeah, I've been working out with him.
What is his game, and what do you expect from him when he joins the Jazz?
Yeah, kind of like a wiry guard. That's super explosive and has great touch as well around the basket, and he can step out, hit mid range, score from all 3 levels. It's kind of just like a scorer.
Talking to your coach at Ohio State, Chris Holtman, he said he put a lot on you, and being a freshman, it is a lot to take on, being the lead scorer on a college basketball program. How'd you take it, and how did you find your game as the year went on?
Yeah, he said he put a lot on me, but at the same time, I was able to lean on him for help, so it wasn't too bad. I could ask questions, and I could go to Coach Holtman about anything. So he helped me through a lot with kind of some of that pressure, but it was fun, to be honest. Ohio State was kind of like my dream school, so actually being there and producing at that level was super fun.
What do you think he said your standout play in college was?
Standout play, like one play?
He said one play was a standout for you. I think he said
I wouldn't know.
The dunk against Illinois.
Okay, yeah, I could have guessed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Why do you think it stood out to him?
I think just that point in the season, we were kind of picking it up as a team, and we were having a lot of fun during that time, and our chemistry was at an all-time high, and kind of just playing off each other and having a lot of fun, and that was a good win for us. So, that kind of, I forgot what point in the game it was, but that kind of was like a statement for sure.
And then the other, it's not a play, but it was a game, was against North Carolina towards the end at that CBS College Classic. Yeah. Huge buckets against Leaky Black, one of the best defenders in college. What do you remember of that experience?
Really just trying to give us the opportunity to win. We were in a big-time arena, big-time environment, which was kind of like a home game for North Carolina. They had so much more fans than us, so it was a good experience, though. It was a lot of fun, and it was kind of just locked in. I don't even really remember too much, just trying to win, hit shots, and give us a chance.
So how would you describe when you get in that zone? Because there are points in the year where when you're scoring, and that's a big NBA skill that you bring, you're just in the zone. What is that like?
It's really just super locked in. It's like the ball kind of feels good as soon as it leaves my hands. And I don't know, I really can't describe it. It's just like, I guess, just being focused.
How did it all come together for you guys as a team towards the end there, heading into the conference tournament?
Yeah, we just had to make some sacrifices as a team. We were kind of in that drought. Like, we had practices got longer, and we had more film sessions and stuff like that, and a lot of team meetings and stuff. So we kind of just had to come together and discuss some, not changes, but just some things we had to do to turn the ship around. So, we kind of figured it out a little bit, and people started playing harder, making sacrifices, and kind of switching up their role a little bit so we could start winning.
How do you think you responded to that adversity, and you as a team coming together, having to be a leader, dealing with injuries throughout the year on that team? How do you think that sets up for an NBA career where you're going to have adversity at some point during the season? It's not going to go 100% great for you.
Yeah, I think, even though we, lost a good amount of games, it wasn't too bad. We had each other's backs, and, after a loss, obviously you're sour, but, when you, watch the film and come back the next day and practice super hard, you kind of forget about it and just worry about the next step. So, we kind of did that for like a month and a half straight. And, like I mentioned, we all had each other's backs, and, we had super close relationships in the locker room, so it wasn't too bad. And, for the next level, I know, it might not be worse, but it'll probably get there at some point with, the amount of games, like 82 games, it's a long season. So, kind of just trusting the process and just being ready for whatever comes is super important.
Defensively, how are you going about improving yourself in that area?
Yeah, I think I had a big learning curve from high school, and, I'm still learning. I was learning throughout last season, but, I don't feel like I'm that far off. I think in these pre-draft workouts, I've been able to show a few teams that, I'm making strides in that area, and, it's somewhere I have a lot of potential, and, I can be an elite defender. So, just continue to grow in that area.
And then finally, how do you see yourself fitting in this organization with the team that it has?
Really kind of just being myself, bringing a high spirit and staying positive, shedding a positive light on people. And then as far as my game, just, do what I do best, keep working on my strengths and building my weaknesses. And really just, it's when the opportunity presents itself, just try to capitalize.
Well, we're looking forward to it. He is Brice Sensabaugh on Roundball, Roundup on UtahJazz.com. Brice, thank you so much for taking the time.
You said, thank you for having me.